Brent, how do I sell the benefits of auctions to my vendor? First things first, vendors don't buy what you sell. Vendors buy what you believe. Now, here's what I believe, that auctions, the vast majority of the time, are the best method of sale for your vendor to achieve the best result in the shortest space of time in the most secure manner, unconditionally. Let's break down the benefits of auctions so we can sit here together and believe this together because it's true. And then you can, from the heart, talk to your vendor about this. The benefits of auction. Well, first and foremost, it's a 4-trick pony. A private sale is a private sale, and that's just what it is. What do I mean by a 4-trick pony? Auction date, 21st of April. Launch date, 1st of April. The photos have been taken, the property's been styled, it's the 26th of March, and you're about to launch online in a few days' time. Trick pony number 1, you bring hot buyers through prior to launch, let them know you're about to launch an auction campaign. Them knowing you're about to launch an auction campaign that's going to have competition with a set date in sight on the 21st of April will more than likely inspire them to potentially put an offer in early. And Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, if we get an exceptionally strong offer, we can sell before we even launch. Trick pony number 1. Trick pony number 2, we can sell before auction between the 1st and the 21st of April if we have buyers that come forward and insist on buying prior and offer exceptionally strong numbers that are irresistible for the vendor. We can sell prior to auction as if it was a private sale campaign. We can go to all interested buyers and let them know there's a stronger offer on the table, that the vendor is going to sell, and that you must put your best foot forward in order to buy the property because it will be sold right now in the next 24 hours prior to auction. That's trick pony number 2. Number 3, on auction day, multiple bidders who viewed the property on multiple occasions, emotionally charged, driving the price up and bidding to the premium. Trick pony number 4, if it doesn't sell there under auction conditions, there's buyers who may be sitting around subject to finance, or buyers who've just entered the market or just noticed this property that you can negotiate with after auction, a few days after, a week after. And in most markets, most auctions sell within a couple of weeks post-auction. Pre-launch number 1. Between the launch date and auction date number 2. At the auction number 3, post-auction number 4. Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, your other option is to go private sale. There's no set date. There's no timeline. The clock is not ticking. We just find buyers, negotiate them to their peak and bring them to you. And that's our only option. There's no option to go to auction. I'm going to break out of this role play for a second. Just by verbalizing this to your vendors, I think it could be enough to get them to commit. Now remember, when I'm talking to you down the barrel of the camera, I'm saying things that I'd want you to say to my own mother and father if you were going to their home to propose that you're their listing agent. I'm speaking from the heart, and I hope that you do too. Now, if your clients require even more information, remind them this. When a buyer buys a home at auction, they've done all their research, they're auction ready, approved to bid to a certain limit. They would have facilitated any building and pest inspections they wanted to facilitate. And when they buy at auction, it's done. It's an unconditional contract. They pay your 10% deposit or your 5% deposit, your 30-day settlement, your 45-day settlement. The deal is done and they cannot get out of that contract. With a private sale, subject to finance, subject to building and pest inspection, subject to the sale of their home, all of which the buyer has got the ability to get out of that contract without anything at stake, without losing any money. They block the agent from talking to other buyers when their offer is accepted, even if it's subject to something. The ball is in the buyer's court. The buyer is in control. And the contract is not as secure. Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, it's totally up to you. I support you either way you go. Left with private sale or right with auction. What would you like? If your vendor picks auction, great. If they pick private sale, so be it. You can't force the issue. Or can you? You can actually, with conviction, say, I believe the auction is the best thing for your property. And I need to speak from my heart. I believe that's the pathway you should head down. If they're still heading towards private sale, keep this in mind. You've got the ability to convert that private sale to auction in the future. And you may let your vendor know this. Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, I can tell you're more comfortable with the private sale option. Let's head down that path. Now, if it's okay with you, I just wanted to let you know that after the first week of the campaign or after the first open for inspection, one of a couple of things could happen. Either A, we have a large amount of buyers that walk through, many interested buyers. And in that instance, I may suggest we convert to auction knowing we could have a handful of bidders bidding against each other. Is it okay with you if I just bring that up after the first open inspection if I think it's in your best interest? If it's a no, it's a no. If it's a yes, it's a yes. If it's a no, I'll probably bring it up anyway. The other thing I wanted to point out, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, if after the first week the campaign isn't very strong, I'm going to want to catch up with you to have a conversation around changing the marketing or changing the pricing or changing our method of sale to attract more buyers. Are you okay for me to have this conversation with you if I think it's in your best interest? If the answer is no, I'm probably going to have it anyway. If the answer is yes, it's a yes. So there we go. The answer to the question, Brent, how do I sell the benefits of auction to my vendors?